Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of the Hilton TruWealth Podcast, the show where we explore the ideas, strategies, and conversations that help people build meaningful, lasting wealth, not just financially, but in life. I'm Mark Miller, Managing Director of the Hilton Family Office and CEO of Hilton Tax and Wealth Advisors. For 40 years, I've been helping people grow their wealth. I think you're going to love what we bring to you weekly in the TruWealth Podcast. So why are we calling it TruWealth? Well, it's not just amassing a bunch of money. Wealth is not about that. And dealing with a lot of wealthy people over the years, I realized that wealth is about really creating a life and using your money to create a quality of life. There's a lot of people that are very wealthy and are not understanding and don't get the fact that they need to use their wealth to create balance in their life. So the TruWealth Podcast is really going to be about that. It's going to be about how do we create balance? How do we even go into other areas of our lives that are ultimately going to create the true wealth that we want? So this podcast, it's going to be a little bit of a laundry list, but I want to give you an idea of what's upcoming and the main things that we're going to be talking about in the coming months and the years that we're going to be with you. And we hope that you tune into us, subscribe to us, and just really learn things, brand new things on a weekly basis. So if you really kind of look at the ultimate theme and with the mission that we have here, it's bringing you the best wealth and life strategies to the wealth building process to make it as smooth as it possibly can be for you and really a more efficient process. You know, what I always tell my clients is we're about teaching people how to build wealth faster and more efficiently. So who are we focusing on in this podcast? If you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, a physician, a professional, maybe a highly comped exec, or you're already maybe independently wealthy, a high net worth individual, there's going to be something for you on a weekly basis that you're going to learn from the podcast. We're also going to be covering in the podcast again over the next weeks, months, and years. We're going to talk about personal wealth planning, business wealth planning, lifestyle, health, relationship, even financial habits, different things you do on a daily basis to keep yourself, again, in good life balance, technology, future financial trends. So the way that we're structuring this is every other week you're going to hear from me on a different financial topic, but we're also going to have, then the next week we'll have a financial expert on, or a health expert, or a relationship expert, all things that are tied into kind of building your true wealth. So let me go a little deeper dive on this. And again, this is a little bit of a laundry list, so stay with me here, but hopefully maybe you'll hear something in this. You'll say, hey, I'm looking forward to that episode that's going to happen. So on the personal wealth management side, we're going to talk about holistic wealth planning and how incredibly important that is, where we integrate investments, insurance, and estate planning, your accounting, all of that kind of integrated together, and how important holistic planning is. We're also going to be talking about specifically tax planning. The Hiltons are really good at that, and we become great, some of the best tax mitigators, we believe, in the entire country. And not only like advanced tax mitigation strategies, but also investment strategies. What's the best way to put investment portfolios together that are the most tax efficient? And we'll also discuss getting to a place of having completely tax-free income. That's really the goal that we have when we work with all our clients. And I believe this is the way the wealthiest do it, and they do it this way on purpose, is you're getting as much money as you can completely tax-free come retirement, or when you're pulling income out of your portfolio. We're also going to discuss, and we're going to have experts on too, related to estate and legacy planning. protecting assets, reducing estate taxes, passing wealth efficiently. And in that vein, you might have a charitable bent in your life. We're going to talk about philanthropy and legacy building long term. So aligning your charitable giving and with your long-term wealth goals. Diversifying beyond stocks and bonds. First of all, the old 60-40 model of investing, in our opinion, is flat out dead. We'll be talking about private equity real estate, private equity businesses to get involved with, alternative investing, strategic use of life insurance. The biggest thing is, how do we get and how can you get access to these things? If you don't have, say, 20, 40, $50 million, we're going to show you those things. Again, I'm going to talk about some of these things, but we're also going to have really, really knowledgeable guests on a weekly basis. And behavioral finance, we're going to touch on that too. I'm really into this whole concept of, I believe that the mind controls your investments more than your investments themselves, meaning you have to have the right mindset to invest properly. We're going to teach you, and we're going to have experts on to show you how the smart money or the wealthiest of the wealthies really invest, and how they control their emotions and how they're able to get wealthy the most efficiently. Global investment opportunities. We're also going to go into what's out there in the entire world to invest in, so we can diversify across different economies and different kinds of asset classes around the world. So we're going to have different episodes on business wealth management, building a resilient business. How do you do that? How can you prepare for economic downturns? How can you create and maintain steady cash flow and have diversification of revenue streams? Those are very important. Tax optimization for business owners. We're great at tax planning on the personal side, but we also want to optimize everything that we possibly can on the business tax side, that you're doing that properly and right. Succession planning, exit planning, so important, that designing your business, so thinking about the long term as you build it yearly. How am I setting things up to where I'm going to be able to have benefits long term? And then we'll also talk about credit and growth. We'll have an expert on to talk about how we can access certain types of credit. What is the best type of credit or loans? What's the best way to bring money into the business to build revenue long term? Maximizing business valuation, huge. Again, thinking about this on an annual basis for building value. You know, there's actually 5 different ways to value your company, and most people and most CPAs only go through 1 or 2 of them. We're going to go well beyond that. Cash flow mastery. How can we master and get the best cash flow we can in our business? Again, I'll talk about some of those things, but then again, we'll have experts that will be able to dive deeper into those things. Investing business profits wisely. Well, why are we in business? It's because we want to make a profit, right? So we believe that the business itself obviously is an asset, and you want to grow that the best you can. But beyond that, we need diversification. So as you make profits, how do we design great kind of smart money portfolios that could be complements to the businesses that we've built? So the other thing we want to go into, and beyond business, personal kind of wealth management, we're going to talk about career and professional growth too. So, hey, if you're a highly comped exec, how can you maximize income opportunities and make the right moves in your career? What kind of impact traditional types of careers have over maybe more esoteric type of careers? How can we transition if we, have a divorce or, a job change? What happens if, risk hits you hard? I'm a big believer. We're going to talk about side hustles. I think where we are, and especially in the economy that we have now, everyone, if you're a W-2 employee, you need to have a side hustle and something maybe you're passionate about or that you really love to do. And that side hustle can then be there to provide another asset for you or another cash flow, revenue generating type of thing in your life. So turning skills into revenue, and that's upscaling, a return on your education expenses. Again, we'll probably have some experts in. They're going to talk about these things and give you great information and actionable items that you can use that can help you determine an ROI on if you decide you want to get a master's or a PhD, or maybe you just have your GED and you want to get a associate's degree or something like that. What does that mean to you, and what can that ultimately mean long term in your career? Investing in professional development also. So another area I'm very excited about, and I'm hoping you are too, is really personal development and mind shifts in your life. How can I become more productive? For instance, like in time management, linking that productivity to financial success, both my portfolio and just my long-term business success. Goal setting, how important that is, and aligning financial plans with life goals long-term. Strangely enough too, even your daily habits. We're going to have some people in talking about how important those things, the daily habits, the things that you do from morning to night, can ultimately affect how you build your wealth long term. And again, get great life balance, which if you have great life balance, you'll build wealth faster and more effectively. Money mindset. We're going to, in probably a few episodes, we're going to actually go into that scarcity versus the abundance thinking. And, you'll see this all the time in people that are very wealthy. They generally have a mindset of abundance. They're not thinking about all of the things that they can't do, or how the economy is against them, or things are too expensive, or whatever. They tend to have a mindset of things are going to work out for me, and do certain things on a daily basis to focus on that and make that wealth happen. Developing healthy relationship with money. That's important. A lot of people have a bad relationship with money, believe it or not. It's just, oh, money is bad. It's a terrible thing. It's not a good thing that that whoever the powers that be and the elite have put together, and they're stealing my money, and they're doing this and they're doing that. I understand some of those things have an element of truth. Don't get me wrong. But if we continually have a mindset like that, we're never going to be able to develop any really modicum of true wealth, in my opinion. So we're also going to be going into health, family, and lifestyle issues, and how that relates to your wealth building. So healthy living. We'll have experts on that are going to be talking about, some of the best experts in the country, talking about longevity. One of the things that in the very high net worth world right now is every event we go to, there's usually a longevity expert there, because people are learning now more than ever, especially with our food supply and the environment changing, things of that nature. They're finding that they need to do certain things in their daily lives and to increase their health, so they can take advantage of the fact that they're wealthy and have a good amount of money and want to travel and do those things. So to keep their wealth really under control. Financial planning for children, and we'll talk about those issues at different times. How can you impart wisdom about wealth and building lasting wealth to your kids? Navigating money conversations with your family, with different members of your family, and not just your immediate family, but outside your family too, and reducing conflict, aligning expectations. We'll discuss a concept called minimalism and how that relates to financial freedom. Now, what do I mean by that? most people think, and especially when they start going from lower levels of wealth to higher levels, they start thinking, well, things need to get more complex. In fact, we work with our clients, even our ultra wealthy clients, to make things less complex. So again, make your life simpler, make it more balanced, make it more peaceful in different areas of your life. And traveling, lifestyle, a lot of people that have money want to travel a lot. So how can they budget for that? How can they set things up to make travel as easy as possible and as less stressful as possible? And then we'll also jump into, and our very next episode, we'll have my partner, Brad Hilton, on, who is the grandson of Conrad Hilton. Brad is kind of a futurist, and he's going to talk about some technology issues. So in the future, we'll talk to people like him and others about future trends and risks that may be coming up, things that we should be concerned about around the corner. So technology and personal finance, how can we use AI tools to help us with money management, how we can use AI in general, that obviously is one of the next biggest trends. How can we use AI efficiently, not only in our business life, personal life, but just general wealth building and financial life? So where we have a lot of ties into the crypto and digital asset world, so we'll bring some experts in to where we can understand that class really well, what it all means, what are the risks, what are the opportunities, and along those lines, how are we going to prepare for automation and job shifts that are going to be coming up? What is the future of work going to look like, and how are we going to adapt financially to go through that most efficiently? We will talk about estate planning, wills. We'll probably have an estate planning attorney in. And one of the things that we do at Hilton, most everyone we work with is really kind of best in class around the entire country. So when we bring a guest in, we'll be talking with someone in this top 5 or 10 in the country in that particular area. So we'll talk about protecting your family legally with estate planning, wills, things like that. Understanding taxes and compliance work, huge. Again, tax planning is a big part of building wealth, and we'll talk about the importance of proactive tax planning in your life. So we'll have many guest opportunities. So some of the future guest topics, I mean, we're going to have experts in that have industry-specific financial advice, but also advice in other areas. Examples like just throwing this out, we might have a music industry expert in on how to finance your next music deal or something like that, or how do we balance family with hobbies, how to predict the future of money. So we'll have all kinds of topics like that and a lot more over the coming weeks and months. Business credit specialists, tax experts, investment management experts, and technology innovators that will be coming on our show in the future. We are super, super excited about moving forward and the episodes coming up and all those people that we're going to be interviewing. And the main goal is to give you information. And my guarantee to you is that every episode, you're going to learn something new, and we make sure before we prepare for the episodes that will be the case, and that you'll walk away really knowing that you learned something after you watch that episode. And so much so that you'll even want to invite somebody and maybe send that episode to them for them to listen to. So here's the thing. Wealth is built through strategic plans, discipline, and expert smart money planning. So we're going to bring these strategies really of the wealthiest investors to everyday average investors. And if you've been an investor for a long time and everybody's at different levels and you're at a very high level, you're going to learn a lot from all these episodes too. The next episode is actually going to be with my partner and great friend, Jay Bradley Hilton. And Jay Bradley is going to go into some of the future technology that's really shaping the future right now, and that can help you make some plans so you make sure you don't make mistakes coming up for the next 5-10 years. So we're excited about that. That brings us to the end of today's episode of Hilton True Wealth. If you want to learn more about topics relating to building your wealth, tax planning, cutting edge tech, and family office services, we're here to help in any way we can. A huge thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And if you're curious about learning more about your wealth, tune in every Friday for new insights and special guests. If you found value in what you heard today, share it with someone who might benefit too. For more insights, resources, and to get a free copy of our book, Hilton Wealth, How to Invest Like an American Dynasty, visit us at hiltonwealth.com. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building your true wealth.